Okay, here we go.
But ignore that. Tom, you've got to shout action now. Where's your clapperboard?
No, start that again, Tom.
It's like Tom's got any control over this right now. Tom, can you just rewind it?
Tom, rewind.
Hello and welcome back to JobsWorth. This week I sit down with Anneka Lange. Now Annie is, I think first off, someone that doesn't necessarily like labels or to put herself in a box. That sounds like a weird thing to say. By that I mean she is a sign writer, she's an artist, she's an illustrator, ultimately she's a creative, but pinning her down on exactly what one of those things she is difficult, and I love that about her. I think locally, if you live in or around Leigh, you would know Annie best for her sign writing work, her incredible art that she puts on buildings and offices and shops in the local area. And this is a really lovely chat. We get to find out more about Annie's past, a little bit about school and how she navigated that with dyslexia. We learn about her experience at Falmouth University, her first job out of that, and then what has brought her into Leigh, what brought her to Leigh 7 years ago, and how she's become the kind of go-to person for traditional sign writing. She does so much more than that. We talk about side projects and side hustles and all the things that keep her brain busy whilst making a living as a creative and being a mum. There's a lot of juggling here. I really hope you enjoy this conversation. Annie has a beautiful way of communicating. She is honest and insightful, and she gives some amazing advice for creatives too. Just amazing advice if you're someone that wants to change your relationship with work, and that's what we're all about. So I really hope you enjoy this episode. I genuinely mean it. If you have any thoughts or feedback on the episodes as you hear them, please get involved in the comments. You can comment on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. You can also comment on YouTube, as some of you have been. And stay tuned for next week. Annie, we're going to start with the opening question to the podcast.
Hi, John.
Hi. When you were younger,
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I was always confused to what eventually I'd want to be, but because I had so many things I liked. But it was either going to be a tennis player against Ralph.
Okay.
Because he also wants to be a tennis player, right?
Yeah, nice.
Or some sort of artist. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know, I just enjoyed everything at school except for the boring academic subjects.
Okay, yeah, got you. Well, I was going to ask, because you mentioned in your pre-interview email / questionnaire that I send out to people that you grew up in the southwest. So where specifically did you grow up?
Actually, Cheltenham, so a bit more, up.
Right.
But yeah,
got you.
I'm a Cheltenham girl, Gloucestershire. So I mean, this is a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
To come down to,
I'll go back a couple of steps at some point to talk about what brought you down this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Because growing up in Cheltenham, I wanted to ask you what school was like for you.
Yeah.
Growing up, because you mentioned as well that you suffer from dyslexia.
Yeah.
So I guess that would have had an impact on school. And you mentioned as well that you weren't a massive fan of the academic subjects. So again, I'm assuming that would have played a part. But how was school for you? What was that like?
School was good. Primary school was literally down the road on the right, and secondary school was on the left-hand side. I very much enjoyed school, but it was quite traditional, I guess, in the sense that my dyslexia, I didn't discover until I actually hit university.
Really?
So,
okay.
And I remember one kid in primary school, it came out that he was dyslexic, and he was the one person in the school, wow, he's dyslexic. Everyone in the playground was like, he's dyslexic over there. It's like this big thing.
Right.
Until you hit art school and everyone's dyslexic. I think it's 50% of people who are creative are dyslexic.
Really? I never knew that. Wow.
And when you get to university, they just did testing and lo and behold, I was dyslexic, and then you get a free laptop, free books, free printing. It's great. I think at school, when we did actually secondary school, like more towards GCSEs, we talked about it, and I think they just offered a bit more time in exams. But I probably failed mostly in those academic subjects because reading is not my thing. To revise, I had to like make games out of the revision.
Yeah.
And I always was quite, I would like to make a good game. So then I'd remember, but then I'd never get through the whole revision.
Because you would have spent so long
to make
making
games,
the game.
to actually complete the revision to even remember anything. So
the focus again for you was more on the creative
absolutely,
output than the end goal of retaining the information and revising.
Unfortunately, I think my mum, I don't know why, I just had a really good English teacher. I had loads of really good teachers. So she always thought she made me think I was really good at English. So I went to take it for like AS level, and my mum was like, I'll pay you not to take it, please don't take it. I was like, what are you talking about? I can do this. And I got a U and just had to drop that one.
Did you have much inspiration to go down a creative route at home? Were your parents creative?
Yeah, so I'm actually one of 4 siblings, and we're all creative.
Yep.
I don't know whether it was because we religiously were watching Art Attack. We had to like make our thank you cards and sometimes presents for family. My father's Polish, and actually, sadly, my parents used Polish as like a secret language. Right. So we never actually learned Polish.
That was their way of doing a bit of a sidebar and then breaking back into English.
Yeah, the mother tongue, so mum was the one at home with the kids, dad was out working. So even though she speaks fluent Polish, French, Russian, she would just speak English to us. So it's a secret language. And we had a Polish cousin that was obsessed with English. Every time we'd come over to Poland, we would be the show and tell at her school in her English class. She then later became like an English translator. So she just translated anything we needed to know, but we were just, I guess, lazy with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we'd know words and probably understand things. But yeah, I don't know, like drawing became a way of communication to our Polish-speaking family that don't speak English, like the grandparents. So,
what age did you realise you had a talent for drawing?
I used to sell Disney character cards, like pencil drawings, for 10p in the playground.
It's big money as well.
That was big money, yeah.
Yep.
And then we had like an assembly where they said, you can't sell anything in a playground, just to reiterate, it's not good. And but I remember then I could draw like Disney characters, which was everyone wanted that.
Yeah. And were you told by family members, or did you just know it yourself? Obviously, the amount of sales would have told you how good you were.
I think I made 50p once.
You had family or your siblings saying, "Annie, you've got a talent."
Yeah, totally. I think our whole family were always encouraging, but it was to all 4 of us. We could all like draw or like be very creative in different ways. So they've always been encouraging. So I mean, it's weird that even though we're all kind of artists, we're all like, our styles are so different.
Any competition between you at all?
Always competition in our family.
Yeah.
But like in a good way.
4 siblings, I would imagine there's got to be some competition.
Yeah, there was definitely competition, but it was more in a fun way because actually our styles, again, were just so different. So, in fact, one Christmas, we don't really do Christmas presents anymore. It would more be like a Secret Santa or like some sort of challenge.
I like that.
And so one year we just had to draw, we kind of like picked out of a hat, a bit like Secret Santa, but you had to draw that person. So and then like my mum just like framed them all at home, but they're just all different. Everyone's like in different style, whoever it is. So
it's very different when you're setting that challenge for a family that can draw.
Yeah.
Because if I did that, well, actually, I'd be quite lucky. But if you're going to a family that don't have those artistic skills, it's just, I guess there's a novelty behind it, but you've actually got a family that can create artwork.
Yeah,
okay.
I actually prefer to do that with
shit drawings.
Yeah, because like childlike drawings, I find them really, I love them so much. Like my kids right now, and well, actually one's 1 year old. She's not really drawing yet.
But shapes and lines.
Yeah, I love
and
all that because I find that really hard to do. I feel like my illustration work can be really photographic.
Got you.
Because I think, like you said, the way when you're like, growing up in the countryside or whatever, it's quite traditional. Like if you were good at art, you're only good at art because you could draw that person or you could draw that.
A replica almost of that
exactly.
figure or that person. Yeah.
So there was always pressure to draw exactly what you see.
Yeah.
Which is where my art kind of was. Whereas, for example, one of my sisters, Aurelia, her work is just really abstract and really free. And I really like, I can't do that.
And there's a little bit of, not jealousy, but there's a bit of a desire to kind of embrace some of that?
Yeah, totally. Like really try and do some projects, like work and I kind of attack now in my illustration is more, I try to be more relaxed and free because I don't know, I think it looks better, like trying to replicate something.
It's what kids teach us, though, to love art again.
Yeah.
And when I watch my son, Joel, sit there and I will just... I don't know, it teaches you to be more open to it.
Yeah, university, they actually tried to teach us that. And there's this one exercise they call blind contours. So you have to, which really helped me actually like kind of relax in drawing, if you like. It's where your hand's on the paper, but you have to look at the subject and you can't look down at the paper.
Right.
But your hand is moving when your eye is moving.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Like, I'd like to do it with you now, but it didn't bring any...
I was thinking about this pre-recording that we should have done some sort of drawing challenge, but maybe we can do a part 2.
Yeah, maybe we'll do part 2.
Who knows? You went to Falmouth.
I did,
University.
Yeah.
And I was looking at some of the other people that went to Falmouth University. It seems like a bit of a destination for illustrators. Like it had a really good name in illustration. So you were obviously zoned in enough with illustration that you knew that's what the route you wanted to go down and study.
Yeah, a bit like Peter Nock mentioned about Art Foundation. You do look at this year where you just try all the different arts out there because there's so many different avenues. And I think it really helps to set up which... route to take when you get to university. And I absolutely loved Art Foundation year. It was the best. I totally recommend it if anyone wants to do art.
Yeah.
And also you could tell the ones that went to university who didn't do an Art Foundation year because they seemed just a bit more naive to things. Okay. Where we were all a year older because obviously we'd done this year.
What did your year look like? What was your foundation year? So what did that entail in terms of the experience?
So everybody does, you kind of choose a couple of subjects, like 4 subjects in the first term, and then you drop to like 2 subjects and then you specify in the last one, but everybody has to do life drawing. So that's like weekly, and I did illustration and photography, drawing, and what else did I do? Graphics. Yeah. It's funny because both my older sisters are also illustrators. So I feel like I already had an example of them, like inspiration of them going to Art Foundation and then on to university. And one of them went to Brighton and then the other one went to Bournemouth. So I thought, what's the last seaside? Falmouth, the best place.
Exactly. What's the age gap, if you don't mind me asking, between you and your older sisters?
So there's 2 years between all of us and then my younger brother as well.
Okay.
And we're all really close actually, even though
so you'd seen your older sisters go out and start making money as illustrators too. So did that kind of give you a bit of confidence that what you were doing would and could lead to a job where you were making money doing something creative? Yeah,
I kind of didn't really think about the money, to be honest. Okay. It was more just I enjoy this. I'm like, I've got a skill there. Let's see where it goes. I feel like you have to kind of attack things like that rather than thinking of the end project.
What's the
outcome? Bit like drawing, like you can't think of the final piece. You have to, I mean, not really like sign writing though, but normally in illustration, you can't really, you can't visualize the final piece because you have to take it through its journey to get to that final piece.
Yeah. That's interesting because you went on from university to then go and land a job at Superdry. So is that the first one out of uni?
Actually, no, I did a lot of running around first, like a bit of travelling, a bit of random jobs, because Falmouth University was great that we actually had a graphic tutor once a week as well as an incredible illustrator tutor, and she kind of taught us the bones of like Adobe, basically all the software like Dreamweaver and how to make our own website. And they just set us up as freelancers to leave.
Gave you the tools.
So yeah, we all kind of, a lot of me and my friends just left uni to go out into the big, mainly to London, but to the big wide world and start a freelance work. And that's where it began for me. I did loads of free work in London, like staying with like different family. I went on tour with a band, like on and off for a year. I went for a ski season, but always drawing in the background to make cash on like an extra thing. And then eventually, I think it was just after I got back from tour with this band, and I've gone back and forth to my parents' house so much to live. And they were just like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I don't really know. Where's my next step going to take me? And then my older sister, Alexia, she persuaded me to take this job at Superdry. And Superdry is born and bred in Cheltenham.
Right.
It's not Japanese.
Okay.
No.
I always thought it was a Japanese business. Is that super naive?
No.
Or is that a commonly held thing? Okay.
But we basically, me and this other guy, well, I say other guy, who was my boss, but it was just us two, me and Matt Sharman at the time I was working there. We were just we just had to draw all the graphics for all the apparel, so boys and girls.
Okay.
And it would be amazing kind of inspiration trips to America and just anything we could find with kind of some sort of graphic interest. They have got a good success story. They because it started off as cult clothing store, mainly like Cheltenham and Oxford, and then a few around other places. But Julian Dunkerton started it, and it was just a shop. It was a bit like a skate shop, I guess. And I was a Saturday girl there, and loads of my friends were in Cheltenham. And it was like Carhartt, Fenchurch. It was just like loads of nice brands that we were selling. And then he started the Superdry brand, his own T-shirts. So it was just T-shirts. And I don't know if you remember the Osaka 6, Osaka 8 T-shirts.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, massive 8. And David Beckham just wore it one time. Because he was
the trajectory.
Yeah, he's kind of like, where is he? He's got an incredible house, Burford, I think.
It's the Cotswolds, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're just really close to that. And so I think he must have gone to the Oxford store or whatever it was. He wore this Osaka 60, and then boom, overnight, everybody wanted a Superdry T-shirt.
Wow.
And then eventually he just pushed out all the brands in his shops and made them all Superdry shops.
Right.
But we went into every kind of category as well. Not kids' clothing, but we went into women's denim. We went into everything.
When you were at uni, did you kind of ever envisage you working for a clothing or an apparel brand at all?
No, because for example, when my sister was like trying to persuade me to take this job, I was like, no, I don't want to be here in Cheltenham. Like, I'm a Superdry, because I'd been doing it as a Saturday girl job anyway when I was a bit younger, and
it didn't feel like enough of a progress.
Yeah,
almost.
I just feel like it had gone like very corporate, and it wasn't my style or anything like that. But I'm so glad I did, because when I was drawing the graphics with Matty, I learned so much from him. And we would hand draw the graphics. So it was like illustration mixed with typography. And he would like sit me down and make me do, write out, like draw out all these alphabets. And sometimes he'd give me like 4 letters and be like, right, you have to make the rest of the alphabet. What is the kind of links? What's the kind of rules in this like lettering? And so I'd have to just make the rest of the alphabet. And that is just, I think, the most incredible thing I've ever learned, really, because then that set me up for learning how typography works. And then once we'd hand drawn these graphics, we'd then vector them and get them ready for the factories, and then we would go off to Istanbul, and then we'd see the whole process, and it was incredible. Like, it was the best thing I'd done, and it set me up for where I am today, for sure.
So one of those moments where you could have very easily said no, and by virtue of saying yes, it's then opened up a lot of the avenues that you've gone down. And,
I mean, other like pubs and things like that, this is probably the only paid serious job I've ever had, was Superdry. Because I actually left them after about 4 years, went back to London to freelance, and then they were like, we want you back, can you come back? So I was like, oh, okay, I will. So I did. I went for another 2 years, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna leave now. Like, too many leaving parties there. But it was such a great community as well. Like, Superdry has built something really special. Like, whether I'd wear it or not, like, the quality was really good. Again, James and Julian, I hope you're not watching. But the quality is amazing, and there's such a great community there, and really met a lot of great people. And just, I think when you went to Cheltenham, if you lived in Cheltenham as a designer, as someone creative, there wasn't really much around other than Superdry. So
that was the brand synonymous with that area.
And I really enjoy just making T-shirt graphics. And he was a really good graph artist, Matt. So he taught me the tricks in the trade of sign writing. And then when I moved down here, it was a side thing. I've always painting on big things and doing like murals and things like that. So the lettering just came with it.
Okay. So Phil, I guess bridge that for me then. So you've left Superdry for a second time.
Yeah.
To go off and do more freelance work?
Yeah, I because I've got a big interest in sport, I guess. I was getting other jobs like sport illustration and things like that, which I really enjoy. So I think I was sick of writing the word S. Like I couldn't think of any more S's to draw, how to draw an S. So I think, I think it was just time. It was ready to move. And I just like every day being different. So
okay, which I mean lends itself so well to what you're doing now. Obviously, the tradition of what you do is similar, but the outcome, the design, the people you meet, the buildings that you work on. Yeah, I'm
so lucky, honestly, to do something I really enjoy and have that as a full-time job. I still do illustration and graphics as well as the painting. The painting did actually start as a side project, but when COVID hit, everybody had grants suddenly from the government, like 50 grand, some businesses had to help them. And so they would approach me and be, I need a new graphic. Can you help me design a logo? Oh, and I need that painted. Oh, I could do that too. So it kind of became this package. And then because here in Leigh, there's so many, pretty much everyone is independent.
Still, it feels like the epicenter. Season 2 of JobsWorth is all about trying to unpick why that is. Like, why is the community here so full of creatives and entrepreneurs and business owners, and what is it specifically about this place? I don't think we ever came to a full conclusion, not one that I recorded anyway, but there's a huge number of people. The volume is incredibly high. It's
amazing. And that is one of the reasons why I've become I'm getting a lot of work. And it is quite sad, actually. I have painted over my own work once.
Have you really?
Yeah, because or just businesses. I think people get this idea and they're like, oh, I've got this shop space. I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's amazing. But then when they actually come down to reality and they're going to that shop every day and maybe it's not as successful as they thought it might be, or they just wanted to trial it, then some people are just there for 3 years and then they move on.
What immediately jumped into my mind was an existing business wanting a new logo or a new sign, but you're talking about a business that was there, off. Yeah, I mean, I'm now connecting the dots and then a new one coming in to take its place.
And it's been great because then they've just recommended me to the new people. So it's, a lot of it's been word of mouth, to be honest.
Well, I was going to talk to you about your kind of the way you develop business, but I'm going to take you back a couple of steps and ask what led you to Leigh in the first place.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. My partner had a house here, so we just, and I didn't have a house, so I just thought, let's live in yours. That was literally just it.
Brilliant. Okay.
But what a place to be when you're right next to the sea. You've got London on your doorstep if you need it. They've got everything here. So, and even an airport. I feel
like you're on a tourist board now, but it is a lovely place.
I just think of my kid being he's got trains, he's got planes, he's got boats, he's got cars. It's literally kid's dream here. It's just a beautiful place. So.
And how long have you been here now?
Actually, about 7 years, which is crazy to think. Yeah.
So you would have. So the sign writing was a side project, and then it's now transitioned into your full-time.
Yeah,
gig? Do you classify it as a full-time gig when you're spinning other plates? You've got side projects, you've got other freelancing, I'm assuming that you do.
I really just need to focus on one thing and it might be
But it's taking up a lot of your time, and I guess through the conversation we're having, this is how we know of you, which is the sign writing that you do.
Yeah.
And do you describe yourself as a sign writer, a sign painter, and still an illustrator? Because they all blur.
I don't know,
they?
John. I don't know.
Putting you on
It
the
depends
spot.
who I'm in
Label
front of.
yourself, Annie. I need you to.
It depends who I'm in front of. If they need an illustrator, I'm an illustrator.
Yeah. I'll wear that hat.
Yeah. I think that's how I have ended up in so many different avenues, because when you're a freelancer, you just say yes to everything because you need the work. And suddenly you're doing, I think one time, do you remember those, what are they called? They were like posters, and it was like a pattern on the poster. And if you looked at it for long enough, you would see Magic Eye.
Yeah, Magic Eye.
Yeah, that's it. And someone asked me once if I could do that for an album cover.
Wow.
And I was like, give me 3 days and I'll give you an answer. So I was like, literally just like YouTubing how to do it on like SketchUp program. And I just learned, and I managed to do it. And I did this album cover, but don't ask me to do it again because I would not remember.
Wow.
But I just like challenges like that. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a challenge Anneka thing. Like I was always referenced as a kid.
I never even connected the dots. Thank you. I think we've got an episode title.
Yeah, I will get a ski suit for my lettering up the ladders soon.
Yeah, but it's great. Obviously, you are a creative person at heart. And we've spoken to a lot of creative people that just seem to love, how do I solve a challenge?
Yeah, it's like that.
How do I do that? So rather than just shut things off. Yeah, as long as it's within that creative realm, let me have a try.
I feel like it's a challenge. I did quite like maths, to be fair, at school. And then having that with graphics and drawing, it was like I'm still painting, I'm still hand drawing something, but it has to be perfect, which is a bit like how I used to paint with the photographic way.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing letters, and it's just, it all kind of connects because it has to be a perfect letter. Has to be straight lines, which is not always easy to do on whatever surface it is. But I think it's all just kind of come together naturally.
Yeah.
And I just remember at school when we'd have to do essays or whatever it was in the class, I would just be spending ages on the title of the essay, like literally making it really 3D and cool. And then my friend would be sitting next to me like, right, I'll start your essay, now do my title. So we just swap papers and like everyone wanted a nice heading and I was just doing the headings.
Yeah. You went into your lane fairly quickly.
Yeah.
You knew what you were good at and got a reputation for it.
Yeah, just like a bulk of text just scares me, which is quite sad really, because I need to actually face that and I'd probably, my dyslexia would be better, if that makes, well, I don't know how that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, not looking at it from that perspective. I'm fortunate enough that I love reading.
Yeah.
And I love pages and pages of text. So I can't
relate.
I can't relate to you on that one, but I do know what you mean. Like how to address that is the question, isn't it?
I should just read a lot more and then I'd probably be, I don't know.
Again, I think you've found a way of a creative outlet and a way of taking things in as well, because you obviously take things in a very visual way. If you love art and you love digesting art, and then that's obviously informing and inspiring what you then go on to create, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas for me, I love art and I love looking at art, but I also love reading. Yeah. And that informs and kind of inspires me too. But it's not the same for everyone.
No, and actually my course in Falmouth specialised in children's books. So they also offered creative writing on the side as well if you wanted to take that up. And it was such a good course. Yeah. And I'd see everyone else in my class and just seeing their imagination, it's just amazing. Like everyone's got different styles. So it's so, it never felt like competition when you're in a room full of artists because everyone just has their own way of achieving something or tackling something.
And I'd imagine it feels quite collaborative when you're doing that.
Yeah.
It feels like you are maybe seeing someone that is doing a certain thing, again, inspires and informs your piece of work. And so being in that room together with other creatives.
Yeah.
I think so many people that are creative want to be together or seek out other creatives for a reason.
Yeah, totally.
And it's a great community around here of creative people.
Yeah.
Whatever avenue you want to, whatever your colour of creative is, there is so many people that do things around here.
Yeah. And what I meant to say with the Falmouth thing is that I think it scared me a bit of having to illustrate. I think Peter Nock was talking about it in your podcast, like how you have to illustrate to a text, to like a, to a book or an article or whatever. And articles are fine because it's not actually that much reading, but to actually portray what someone's trying to say is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. You're accountable for visually interpreting a piece of work, and it needs to be I guess, a line to it. It needs to respect it.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take on.
Yeah, I'd rather illustrate an image of my preference rather than illustrating to someone's story.
Brief. Or, I get what you mean. I guess a story, if you're an illustrator, whether you're an illustrator being told, I need you to draw this, or whether you're an illustrator trying to interpret a block of text, you're still doing it for someone else.
Yeah, it's a brief to it. So that's the difference between fine art and illustration. Because they're both really the same thing. A fine artist could just be, it could be just like loads of doodles or whatever. But an illustrator is to a brief, like illustration's to a brief, whereas fine art's not.
Prescribed way of creating something because there are rules.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are, as we talked with Peter about, he got to a point where he didn't want to keep creating to briefs. He wanted to create things that he wanted to create for the pure joy of creation.
I feel like every artist goes through that.
I
to some extent.
From my experience and seeing my again, I always promise not to bring my brother up, but seeing what my brother does, what my mum does. I mean, it's like what they do now, and they're fortunate enough to be creating for themselves, and they just happen to make money from that. My mum and my
that's
brother.
the dream. I think all artists kind of leave university wanting.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you what my style is as an artist. So I think that's where I maybe started to veer into loads of different kind of avenues of art, whereas like the lettering or the murals or the, I don't think you could like look at my work and be like, that's Annie's work.
Couldn't put you in a box at all. I think with the sign writing, you're governed again. It's prescribed to a degree unless you are the one creating the font or correct. Is font the right word?
Yeah, typeface.
Or typography or creating that. Or unless someone's given you carte blanche to go have at it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And there's no rules to that then.
No.
But yeah, you've if you're doing a logo, if you're doing something specifically that's associated with that brand that you haven't necessarily created, which I'd imagine is the case for you sometimes. That's But then you've got that string to your bow that you can create logos.
So then you do end up doing those jobs, and oh god, honestly, John, I don't know what I am is the answer. Illustrator,
love that, though.
sign writer, mural artist.
Look, everyone wants to be able to put a label on someone, but if you can't, I think that's a much better place to be.
Yeah,
especially as a freelancer.
Yeah, it is, and but I do really feel like I've got to a place that I'm really enjoying for my work.
Good.
Doing the sign writing, still doing illustration and some graphics on the side. I'm a big fan of tennis, so I actually work a lot with an American tennis magazine, and that is more graphic stuff. So, but it means I just get to be doing, involving like, I don't know, the challenge of how can I portray a tennis logo that's not an obvious tennis ball, or those kind of things. So
there's all these different facets that you're able to express yourself through. So you're not short of avenues or outlets to be creative from the sound of it. Yeah.
No.
We'll talk about some of the other stuff you're doing as well in a second. But it feels like for someone that's got so much going on, then to add other things to that. Yeah, you could question, okay, what are you doing? But we'll talk about that in a second. Your first ever sign writing job locally, we are sat in the place that you did it.
We are.
You told me this. So for anyone listening to this that doesn't know that we record in the Hatch in Old Leigh. So you have done sign writing for Ralph.
Honestly, Ralph was my first gig down here, and I think we were just walking along Old Leigh, and he had nothing. He just had that shelf bit here, and I was just like, oh, if you need help, like a sign or any artwork, painting needed, give me a call. And he did. And I had nothing really to show him. I had a few things from like the West Country, but not anything local. And but yeah, he put his faith into me. And not only did I paint the hatch, he kind of already knew what the logo was going to look like. Yeah. He had this gave me a bit of scrap paper with a drawing on. He's like, can you just sort of paint
Make that a thing.
So drew that up for him, and then the old foundry, they just gave me complete
creative control, freedom over that.
So I really, and because I didn't have much on, I really spent a lot of time on that. I really enjoyed making that typography. Like I just did, hand drew all the letters and everything with it. So I couldn't there's no alphabet to me to write anything else. It's literally just the old foundry. Then painted the sign outside, did did the sign by the railway. So when every time a train would come past, I was literally balancing on this ladder and had about that much space, and it was just like wobbling. Everything was wobbling.
Everyone loves a bit of jeopardy, though. You don't create your best work when there's a bit of jeopardy going by.
It's almost that in my jobs. And then other letters.
Other letters as well.
Yeah.
So I've worked and stole Ralph's Wi-Fi from this space for well over a year now, and I've always looked at the sign and never knew who'd done it. And then, all the dots were connected when Ralph told me last week that it was you, and that you just said, if you need anything doing.
And obviously this is such a famous place in Leigh that then I could reference that every time I talk to someone new.
Yeah.
So I thought, I did the hatch, I did the apple tree, and then it just kind of like
built from there.
Built from there.
Because you don't have a website, or your website isn't the main way that people find what you do.
No, I did actually start with a website, but I just got rid of it because I just didn't need it. Yeah, I didn't need it really. It was Instagram alone was just my portfolio that I needed.
Yeah. That's the same for a lot of creatives though, I think. And it's another thing to have to manage and govern and add things to. And if you can do that for a really easy interface on your phone and still get the same amount of work, if not more, then why not use it?
Obviously I got all the photos, so I can always make a portfolio from it if Instagram was to go somewhere. But for now it's the way I get work is through social media, Instagram mainly, and word of mouth. So.
And what's your experience? I think you've alluded to it already, but what's your experience of the community around Leigh been since you moved here? It looks like a positive one.
Absolutely, I love the Leigh community. I've met so many amazing traders and business owners, and actually I didn't have any friends when I moved here, so. Most of my friends now are people that have paid me before, so for something.
That happens.
Yeah. No, I feel like I need to draw like a little book of the local traders in Leigh or something, because I could tell if you need something, I can tell you where to go.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I mean, the podcast acts as a bit of an organic way of meeting people that we never would have met unless we were sat behind microphones, or at least got to have a conversation and got to know them. But you definitely feel there's something special about this place. And within a couple of names, I mean, it can backfire from time to time, but within a couple of names, you'll be able to be connected with someone that can help support a cause or introduce you to someone else. And I think maybe everyone feels like that about where they live, but it just seems particularly strong around here, that sense of community and sense of support. And I have to shout out Ralph. I think Ralph and what he's built here, I describe it as a community hub.
Yeah.
It is it's like networking central, and Ralph is a facilitator for so much of that. He's just, I think, a prime example of the type of person around here. Yeah. And we owe him a lot, because he lets us have this space and introduces us to a lot of guests. Yeah. And paves the way for conversations to happen. But I think he's a really good example of what Leigh's about.
I think when I met him as well, and he's I've got a sister and two brothers. I've got two sisters and a brother. And, my dad has got a dog called Aurelia. I was like, my sister's called Aurelia. And there's just we had I don't know, I felt I've adopted them, their family. Their family is amazing, the Tate family.
They're so lovely. They're all lovely.
And then I met Paul through Ralph, obviously, next. And then they did his bakery sign. And that was, again, it's when it's the job that you can be more creative with it. And he was just I want it all wonky, but also straight letters, but wonky. And it's just we just had lots of fun with that one.
Yeah. You look like someone that if someone's got a brief that doesn't fit what you've done before, you're just gonna love that.
Yeah,
you rise to the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Bigger the better, really.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. But then also I just love helping any shop owners that have no idea what they want.
Right. So clean slate. Let's help you build a recognisable
Let's try and visualise
brand.
Let's get you a picture of what you're trying to do here. And
That's really cool. Are there any places, businesses, buildings in Leigh that you walk past and think, oh God, I want to paint on that?
Well, actually, it was the marina. The Leigh Marina for ages. There was it's where the Trail Cafe is.
Okay, yeah.
And they've got all the lines on the Trail Cafe at the back of the unit behind.
I know it. Yeah.
And I've always, before that even ever happened, I've always thought, that would be a really cool building to paint. And then lo and behold, they had someone to come and spray it. It wasn't me. But then I did get some friends have just brought it. So and now I'm painting down there, and you can actually see my artwork from the top of the stairs from where I always noticed that.
Okay, so
cafe.
you're close. You're close.
So I'm pretty close, yeah. And but it's really exciting community being created down there. There's just loads of like old shipping containers and loads of businesses going in, and artist studios that have always been there.
Yeah.
But we're just making a space look a bit more prettier. And
I think since Trail have been there, it just feels like that whole area has exploded.
They're doing so well.
It might just have been that no one knew the things that are now there were there historically.
Yeah.
But then Trail being there has made it a bit more of a destination, let's say, that part of... I mean, what even is that? The marina.
The marina, around, I think they're going to make it like I don't know they're definite on the name yet, but like Leigh Marina Studios. It's going to be a space where really cool. There's loads of businesses going in. I don't know how much I can tell you, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds it. Yeah. It feels like we're going to have some more guests lined up on the back of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about juggling work-life balance. You're a mum of two.
Yeah.
How do you get the balance right, especially when you've got so many things, creative outlets, work, got to pay the bills, all these things. How do you get the balance? I say right. How do you fight for the balance?
I was going to say, I think that was the first thing I was going to say. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but somehow I'm still just above water.
I think as a parent, that's all you can be.
Oh, God.
I think you're doing well enough.
Does it get easier? I don't know.
If you want to hear a yes from me, I don't know if I can say it right now, not after today, but it's a different thing. It evolves over time.
Yeah. I feel like what's been taken away mostly is time. Like I was so used to having the time to... I don't know, I'm silly as well. I take on so many different projects at the same time as well. And that's what's been taken away the most, but obviously for the best reason. Like they are incredible. And they inspire me so much as well. So how do we juggle it? You just don't know until you're in it.
Yeah.
My days have got shorter in terms of work, but then I still kind of, I work just as hard or harder, if you like, to get these jobs finished in time. I don't know what the answer is to that.
Let me ask you another question on the back of that then. Have your goals changed since having kids?
I think my goals, in a way, haven't changed really, because I've always tried to keep true to who I am. Especially when there's the pressure of being this artist, right? So you've got followers or you've got whatever, people expecting to see these drawings coming from you, and you haven't done something for so long, then people are like, what's going on with them? Like, so you always have this pressure of producing new work all the time.
Got to be productive.
You've got to be,
create output.
So I guess that kind of goal of always producing new work is always being there, but maybe I'm better at, am I better at organising? I don't know. A lot of my clients get work sent to them at like 10 o'clock at night.
That's okay.
But that's because I actually feel more creative at night time. And that was one of the main reasons I left like a mainstream job. Because
that traditional 9 to 5.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Align.
I can't sit down and just like be like, right, like that's the decision. Or
so just to jump in on that, we had a hormone cycle optimization specialist come on in season 1. That's quite a mouthful, isn't it?
That is.
HCO coach, that's what we call her. She was incredible, and she educated me on where the 9 to 5 came from, and it's a patriarch. It's a hangover from the patriarchy. It's because men's energy levels run that kind of pattern. So 9 o'clock. Peaking around kind of midday and then tail off, and that's where the whole drinking culture came from, where men will go out and relax. And I'm not doing a massive service for men here, but that was it. It was scheduled around men and their body clocks. And I'm not. And so actually, a lot of women that I speak to find exactly the same thing. And then again, my brother, who I'm not going to mention again, also finds that he's more creative at night. So there are different times for different people. Like how there can be such a prescriptive way of working for the masses is beyond me. And the fact that it's based on men, I'm just going to apologise.
Yeah. I feel like in terms of I think I personally suffer though, because I'm more creative at night time and then battling of being like, do I just get this finished? Or do I get some sleep in because the kids are going to literally wake up at 5? And then you're just running on empty. Yeah. So interestingly, I think it's with Abby Thomas's podcast. She talks about a chronic disease. And that also happened to me on burnout stage.
Right.
But it didn't really, that stress of mum guilt, I guess, along with owning your own business, well, running your own business, so say like making money to pay the bills, everything just built up. And yeah, I've always had problems with IBS, but my dad has 2 mutated genes that is related to Crohn's disease. And so I had like 2 periods where like my oldest was about 9 months or something, and I was just having all these like stomach attacks, and my friend was like, "You're having a panic attack," and it would go on for ages. And so I had loads of testing done, and they just couldn't put their finger on it. And then it happened again this time round with my 1-year-old when she was about 9-10 months breastfeeding, and it happened all over again, exact same thing. And it's this pressure of, I don't know, like trying to keep this little human alive alongside like your kind of life of that you had before, you know, making everyone happy with your work and everything else and paying the bills. It's just too much. But it just I never really noticed how stressed I was about it until
I've mentioned this before, body keeps a score.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff you internalize, and the body has a way of stopping you in your tracks to say, come on, something, equilibrium needs to be struck at this point because it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's interesting. She went through the same thing on like a burnout.
Because I'm nodding along, and I don't know if Tom and Rob behind the screen, we had a conversation with Charlie, whose episode goes out today, and that was all around matrescence, which is this
great word
situation. Yeah, there's the process of becoming a mum, and again, unrealistic expectations, and this feeling of judgment and this pressure to be all things to all people. Bounce back, Charlie said. You know, keep your kids happy and be a great partner and keep working. And it's just unrealistic, and that weight goes somewhere.
Yeah, I really highly recommend that podcast. It was so interesting hearing all about it from her, and I just wanted to send it to all my mum friends. You know, be like, it's okay.
I personally, I'm biased, but I think it's super powerful, and it's nothing that I'd say it's all Charlie. The message she's putting out there, I think, is amazing. But it's so funny from a timing perspective that you mentioned that, because there is a physical toll that you take as well as a mental one.
It's so true, because I think I am quite a chilled person, and I don't know, it was just hitting me in other ways. The stress will always find you, whether it's physical or on the head. So anyway, I think I'm out of it now. So that's good.
That's a good place to be. We're talking about stressors, and we're talking about the juggle, and then you've got a side project.
Why? Why do
My question is why?
Yeah.
So you've got a side project. Tell us a bit about it, because it fuses your talent with your love of sport. So we're talking tennis.
Yeah.
And what's the other?
Like kind of ski, snow.
Okay, cool. So what's it called, and tell us about it, if that's okay.
So it's called St. Maurice.
Okay.
The reason why I started it was because I missed doing the apparel graphic side that I was doing for Superdry. And So I want to kind of go into clothes, but actually make it more of a creative community, like do print as well.
Okay.
So I haven't started it in terms of the collabs yet, but I'm planning to do like collabs of artists with like them doing a print and then that being on a T-shirt as well, and that kind of thing. It started because, I don't know, I think, like I said, I always wanted to be this tennis player, and my dad was big into tennis, and he also was artist, like creative, and my mum's creative in her way as well. And that was like what it was like in a house. It was either some sort of sport going on, mainly tennis, or some sort of drawing situation going on. So I think it's just a collaboration of my upbringing, like the things I love the most.
Does it tie into what we were talking about earlier as well? You're not creating to a brief.
Yeah, you're not creating to a brief.
Something that you want to do. There's a product that you're putting out into the world because you like it.
Yeah.
In the hope that other people are going to like it and you can sell it, but it's your thing. It's art for art's sake.
Yeah.
On apparel.
And I feel like it was something I'm creating I want to be involved in that tennis industry or like the kind of snow side. So it's making my job up because it's what I want to do. I've made my job up.
Yeah, bit of job crafting.
And that's what I wanted to make money from. Yeah. And I know the passion's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Because it's like two things I love combined.
Yeah.
So I won't make it onto Wimbledon tennis court. But like last year, I actually had a dream job of designing the Queen's Club tennis poster.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Can you give us any insight into how that happened?
Just the LTA were just trying to find those different illustrators, and they had found about 6 or 7 of us, and then I had to go through elimination, I guess, and then I just got picked in the end. Also, I really enjoy working with this magazine. I work for a lot, Racket magazine, because they celebrate the kind of culture and art within tennis too. So it's this combined.
It's something that I've always seen as, well, do you know what? Again, ignorance around tennis and the whole culture around it. But I am now getting this kind of view of the art side of it, because it sounds like that has been embedded around that. So if that creation of posters and they're celebrating artists, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, just
massively in tennis. It was so good in the 80s, like the fashion on court, and then it kind of dipped, and now it's kind of coming back a lot. It's just. Tennis is great. I don't know, there's just so many, I don't know, I just love it. Such a geek for tennis.
I think that's fantastic. And I am going to say something you mentioned in your email.
Okay.
If it's okay to share.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Well, I do think it's worth saying that you are looking for a tennis court to put a creation on.
Yes.
So if anyone can help, this is that I wanted to put the shout on the podcast that I think in Leigh or one of the clubs, there has to be an
if anyone's
opportunity.
got a link to the council, because I did actually approach them about the chalkwall tennis courts once. Yeah. Not the nice blue ones, but the ones that were kind of left with no lines in
bit dilapidated.
And I was just a bit like, do you fancy a court mural? So I actually have a previous project. I painted a basketball court.
It's amazing. We will share the link, because you shared an amazing video where it was shot on. Incredible.
Thank you.
On that scale, it's just amazing.
It was in the garden of this guy's house. It was an insane house in Radlett. And he was just like, I love Kobe Bryant and I love Beverly Hills. So he just wanted this kind of combined look of that. So that's what he got. But that was, again, going into the unknown. I've never painted a basketball court before, but doing all the research with the paint, I was like, how can this go wrong? So you just go for it. And I loved it. And now I'm looking for a tennis court if anyone's got one in their back garden.
Well, I was also going to say in Leigh, if there's if it's going to be anywhere, it might be Leigh.
It might be Leigh.
But so I had to include that on the podcast. That is something that you mentioned. Okay, we're final stretch now, so I've got a few more questions, and then we are going to play a game.
Okay,
that is always a part of the podcast.
I love games,
whether they're crap or not. You might not love this one. Don't build it up in your head.
Okay.
I'm going to ask, what is your proudest achievement? And I mean work-wise. We don't have to mention kids.
Yeah.
What's your proudest achievement?
No. All good. Well, no, actually, it was probably the basketball court. I feel like that was such a big project to tackle because it was into the unknown. And then it was, managed to achieve it. So that was definitely one of my biggest, proudest. What else is there?
It can be one. You can just answer with one.
We'll go with that.
Let's keep it short. I like that. Talk to me. I'm interested now. What is the process? Because you can't zoom out. You haven't got a drone, I'm assuming, flying above to give you a picture of what that looks like. So what is the process for you? How do you keep on track?
You kind of go by lines. So I actually there was a previous, just the actual basketball court lines on the court.
Right.
And I was quite lucky because the design was like leaves. So it didn't have to be perfect leaves. They just know they've got to be leaf-like, if you like. So I just used the court lines from my design. Okay, well, that was in the D of the court, so that point just came out there, and that was kind of how I went with it. But it was a bit like, different scale, because a wall, you could spray the wall, all these like an alphabet if you like, and then you take a picture of the wall, you put it on your computer, you put your design on top, and you're like, okay, right by A, the point of the A was the I, or by D, that was the hand, and you map it out that way. It really depends on the size, and there's loads of other ways you can project as well. But on the floor, I don't know, just travelled it and it worked.
Yeah, that's good. Sometimes you got to do it, but again, I think that again tells that story of your mindset, which is I'm gonna try and do it.
Yeah,
and it worked. We will definitely share the picture and the video because it is absolutely stunning. It's so cool, that whole design. Tennis court next. What's one thing you want to do that you haven't done yet?
So tennis court mural. No.
We've mentioned it, right?
What haven't I done yet? A train. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. I don't know. I don't really.
For anyone listening, and he's pointing at Ralph's
massive things. Ralph's train.
Just the bigger the better.
Do you think he'll let me paint that?
I don't think he will. No, but we can ask him.
I just just crazy surfaces, or just someone will think, what? That's. I like they can't paint that.
You're basically saying the sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. I'd like to do more boats, actually. Okay. I've done like 3 or 4.
You sent some pictures of the boats that you've done. It's so cool.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed those. Nice. I mean, I think there's a myth, or the rule is you can't change the name of a boat. It's bad luck.
Okay.
When you buy a boat, you can't change the name.
Yeah.
But some of these vinyl stickers.
Yeah.
Get rid, just go traditional.
Yeah.
I'd like to do more, and because we're right by the water, there's so many boats. There's got to be more boats coming my way.
There's endless supply, I would imagine, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's another shout out as well if anyone wants their boat done and is looking for a boat.
And also, I really enjoyed signing in Leigh the other day. There's a new cork dork.
Seen this,
actually, so many people stopped to talk to me because it's not really seen as, whether they've not seen it before or just not seen it for a long time. They really wanted to chat, and no matter the height, I always get like whole conversations, and I'm like,
just shouting off the
coming
scaffold.
Down, talk to you. But it's such a lovely little town, and that would be, to perhaps see it all hand painted again, like it probably was in the old days.
I was going to say, I'm about to say I grew up in Leigh, not in the old days, in the 80s and 90s. But there is something, I feel like a bit of character has been lost from that high street as more of the more modern businesses have gone in there or taken over those buildings. And what I love, and there's another question I wanted to ask earlier, so I'll chuck this in now. I love how traditional it is and how far back that tradition of sign writing dates. Are you aware of that when you're doing it? Yeah,
I mean, sometimes, there's so much old sign writing behind signs in Leigh. You
posted a picture of one the other day, didn't you, that had been exposed? Maybe it was on your story. Yeah, it was it's so beautiful and just... Yeah, I wish they could just all take the signs off. So that's one good thing, I guess, is getting... you just need a bit of wood to go over those traditional signs to save them. Yeah. It's just beautiful, isn't it? It's just... Yeah. It's cool. What is the name... This is just a complete curiosity question. What's the name of the stick that you use? The mole stick. Mole stick. Yeah. Okay. And that is a traditional... That's something that they would have been using back in the 1800s when they were doing sign writing at the time. Yeah, it's. I think it's, well, for a number of things, it's to kind of like steady your hand. So because you kind of lean on something to get like your hand just to move rather than your whole arm. Got you. Okay. And on top of that, when I haven't used one, for example, in the past, then you end up, that bit of your hand ends up going on the wet paint you might have already painted. Yeah. And part of my dyslexia, sometimes I might paint right to left, rather than left to right, which is really silly. But then you've got wet paint, so it's just ironic, isn't it? No. Sign writer being dyslexic. Well, this is. I was thinking that because you did mention that in an email, and I was like, that is quite an interesting one. I wonder how many dyslexic sign writers there are out there. You might be one of. Yeah. Maybe one of one. Oh, it's got to be more of me. It's got to be. But luckily today, I haven't painted any spelling mistakes yet, but I think a super-dry t-shirt got through to print. Really? Yeah, with a spelling mistake on. But that's okay. Yeah, who cares? Don't own it. It's fine. Yeah. So just don't put your hand up. I'm going to ask you, because I think there will be a lot of people, a lot of creatives listening to this podcast that are inspired by what you've done.
Yeah.
And that might be in a role where they're getting a creative outlet, but they're doing it for a big corporate, perhaps.
Okay.
What advice would you give them if they want to go it alone?
So...
And you can be as honest as you want. It doesn't have to be succinct. It can be a scrappy thing, because sometimes they are. But
you've just got to go for it. Like, I think I was very lucky to grow up in a family that was always, just positive and just, telling me, just to go for it. And in fact, like, if you think about tennis, my dad used to coach me as a kid, and he'd be like, just go for every ball, even if it looks like it's going out. And that's what you've got to kind of apply to everything. It's like, what is it? It's that quote. It's like, there's no certainty, but there are doors of opportunity. Is that right? And that's what it is. You've just got to create all those opportunities. Whether it's going to be successful or not, you'll never know if you don't do it.
I love that. Go for every ball,
even if it's going out. Because then you'd never, because if it just hits the line, that still counts as in as tennis. So if you'd gone for it, you would have returned it.
Yeah.
And you'd just be like, oh my God, was that out? But I've played anyway, so we're carrying on. But he just said, go for every ball, even if it looks like it's going out, and let like the umpire call it out.
Yeah.
Because that's their job, not yours.
At least you can say you've done everything you possibly could.
Exactly.
To get there.
Yeah. And I think
that's brilliant.
Yeah, you just got to apply that to everything you do. And I think that's one thing that works well with my job being local, as I much prefer talking to people. Rather than like writing emails or phone calls, because I know I'm just so cheesy, but talking about dyslexia again, but it is affected in my vocabulary and everything. I don't know, I just feel like people can see the true me when they meet me face to face. So that really works hand in hand with my job.
Again, not everyone is going to communicate well when they are sat in front of a keyboard.
Yeah.
So having the opportunity to sit across from someone or talk to someone while you're up a scaffold or up a ladder, whatever it
Any
is,
heights.
that's how you really get to know people.
But that's what I think what I'm trying to say is that go to any kind of events, go to everything. And that's when you meet people, and that's when people are interested to stay in contact. And that's basically what I've always done.
Well, again, to really give some evidence behind that, I think there's confidence thrown in the mix, because it takes confidence to say to Ralph, if you ever need any...
Oh, I was nervous, by the way, Ralph.
Okay.
But
that's good to know, because a lot of people again will be like, well, it's easy if you're a confident person. But actually, it just takes sometimes. It's really powerful to know that someone is nervous, but then goes, oh, if you ever need that. And look what it's done for you now.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I remember thinking, because I felt like I didn't know anyone. So I felt like everyone knew I was new here. Right. When you walk around, you go to a place. Yeah, I was just like, she's new. But I just felt like I didn't, you just feel nervous to talk to anyone because you think everyone knows each other but you. So it was I was nervous in that sense. And then he was like, yeah, great. I was like, great. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, mate.
No, I think we spoke to Liam, who's the head chef over at Food Leon C, and he was talking about things that he used to do to get work experience, and it takes confidence. But these are things that I don't think are spoken about enough sometimes, that you have to be in the room, you have to put yourself forward, you have to, as it sounded like you did at university or the foundation you did, you have to give sometimes your time for free in order to gain experience. And not enough people, I feel like now, everything is about how do I make money as quickly as possible, or it can be. Yeah. Sometimes to gain experience, you have to put yourself out there.
But also don't be so obsessed with that line of work. Like you need to do, like, so for example, the sporting side, I would be joining the netball club or, whatever it was. I'd be doing lots of different things. And that's how you meet lots of different people too that need you. Because if you just go to those creative events, everyone's an illustrator there.
That's a really good point.
So
it's a bit of an echo chamber.
It's great to be, it's great to be like bounce off ideas, and there's going to be those people that I could use you for that, but you need to go to those places where people have no idea about art and they need your help like massively. So I mean, there's quite a few in Leigh. There's and Westcliff, and there's those events they put on with like different like women in business, and there's loads of different events going. So things like that to get involved with. Yeah, that would be my advice, just to put yourself out there, go to different things, not necessarily related to the industry you're in, but
I like
talk
that.
to people. It's just face-to-face things. Like, don't hide behind the screen and social media and AI. It's like you've got to be human.
Yeah.
And that's what they're falling in love with. And that's when the trust is built to then actually use you for whatever it is.
We talk a lot about authenticity. And I think that can get lost when you're just living behind a grid or a social media post.
Yeah.
So I think, in person, you just can't beat that for forming that connection and letting someone see that. Yeah,
it's all important though. Like, social media has got me, or like my jobs, for example, really, and when it's further afield. But yeah, just don't forget about the human touch.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a really nice message. I love that as well. I feel like that needs to go on a T-shirt. What your dad said.
Okay,
again.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's
Or
amazing.
a sign.
Yeah, or a sign. Yeah, we'll see. Right, we're going to play a game.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This game, just before we start, I'm going to give you a zoomed in image of a piece of your work.
Oh gosh.
You're going to have to tell me where
What
it's
it
from,
is.
who
Okay.
you did it for.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you the zoomed in image.
Okay. Names as well.
A bit of pressure now. No,
Shop.
just the shop
Just the
name,
brand,
the shop
okay.
name or the brand, yeah. And then I'll show you the zoomed in image, and then I'll show you the image zoomed out.
I like these games you come up with.
It's very random. This was quite last minute, but I do try. It doesn't detract. Okay. So I'm going to do this. We can blow this up, can't we, Tom? Anyway, on the screen. Okay, so we're going to start with this. This is a big letter J.
Yeah, that was for June's store skate. Well, it was actually it was a skateboard that I painted on, and I actually can't remember what the word says, but it went into June. It went into June's store. It was more of a competition of like, I don't know. I had this like Canadian deck, and it was blank, and I just went to them and was like, do you want to do a little collab comp? Because obviously they had all the skate crew, and I just wanted.
It was such a cool space. Such a cool
so
place,
amazing.
and so
They did
sad to
such
see
a good
it
job.
Go as well.
Yeah, and they've gone online now. So, but I do miss them in the Broadway.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah,
So
and,
it is June's store, and it says.
What does it say again? I can't
Do you know
remember.
what? I knew this wasn't gonna.
Can't
Right,
remember.
It says. We'll leave that in.
Jeez, of course it is.
Of course it
How
says
could I forget
G's.
that?
Why would you?
So I just wanted to paint the skateboard, but I felt like I didn't know where it was going. So then I just went with June's store and was like, do you want to do a little collab comp? So then
So cool.
they just posted it out, and I can't even remember how the person won, but he won it.
Good. Well, that's adorning
that.
someone's wall, or they've stuck.
Yeah, or they might have
Trucks,
put
wheels
wheels
on
on
it.
it.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Okay, next one. It's an O.
That's North.
That is North.
So North, that's actually my handwriting. And
Nice.
when I said that to Jimbo, he was like, I think he was gutted. I don't know if he was gutted, but I was like, mate, I charge way more for your handwriting normally, so you're very lucky.
This is original stuff.
But that is like how I write, basically. So I wrote it out loads and worked with the type, but that is my normal handwriting.
Okay, that is very cool. And Jimbo's hopefully going to come on. I'm just calling him Jimbo. I know him as James.
Jimbo James.
Way too.
I started with James,
way
and now
too
I've
familiar.
gone into Jimbo.
Jimbo's coming on the podcast at some point
amazing.
as well. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
This is a B.
Los Box. It's an amazing boxing club so where are they? They are off kind of, is it count as the Broadway when they do the Henry Burger's Corner? What is that little bit of road?
Like the transition between that and Leigh Road.
Yeah, they're just kind of behind that bit.
Okay.
Behind Garrett's.
You're correct. You know your jobs. This is good. Okay, right. We're going to go next one. S.
Sababa.
There we go.
Yeah, incredible couple. They designed that. I just came along and painted that one, and they're doing so well in Southend.
It's so cool. I mean, that's around the corner from my office in Southend as well.
Oh, really?
And I
Yeah.
go past that sign all the time.
Oh,
Had
great-
no idea
great
that you'd done
food.
that. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Good coffee.
Right, next one. I think this is going to be a tricky one. And the worst thing is,
I think I know what it is.
thank you, because I haven't written down which one this is. I know all the others. Go on, go for it. Who do you think it is?
Hang on, is this a trick question? Is it not for a business? Or is it for a business?
This is not for a local business.
Oh. It kind of looks like My sign, my wet letters sign.
It's not your wet letters
Oh,
sign.
right. Which is.
Should we do the reveal? Because you're going to have to tell me who it is anyway.
Hang on. Oh, I mean, it's such a
I can give you another clue.
generic. Oh, can't remember.
You said it's back on your Instagram post. You said it's back home or closer to home.
So, was it a wedding thing?
No, I'm going to show you.
Oh, there
So
he
talk to
is.
us about that. So you're going to have to tell me who
Phil.
that is. I know who that is, but who? But where?
He
where
opened
is
a
it?
pub.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
but
cool.
sadly it's not.
It's not there.
No,
Well,
not
we
anymore.
can-
But he's amazing,
Yeah.
and I've done some work with him before. And yeah, he just anytime he needs some sort of graphic or something, he does give me a shout. He's lush, yeah. Phil.
Nice, awesome. It's an O.
Oh, you're getting harder, aren't you?
I'm trying to.
This O is from. Do I get a clue?
No.
I like this game though.
What do you want to know? It's local. It's not on the Broadway. But it is in Leigh.
It's not on the Broadway.
I like the ones that test you. I've got to be honest.
That is.
'cause you
I
would
mean,
get-
it's
it
just
went
a circle.
very fast. It's definitely an O.
I don't know.
This is someone that.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, you know it.
It's coming. The colours are coming to me. Rosewood.
No,
Oh,
Rose was just round the corner from my house. I walked
Really?
past it every day, yeah.
Oh, she's lovely.
Should we reveal this one?
go on.
Okay. It's Billy Bonds. There we go.
Sorry, Billy.
There you go. Sorry, Billy. I mean, to be fair to
That was a
Billy,
hard one.
that was really zoomed in. That
Yeah.
could have been a lot of things, but zoomed out, it's got a real identity to it.
Yeah,
But
I
we'll
love
let
the
you off on that
sisters.
one.
They're amazing. And Simon, the dad, and the whole family.
You are prolific around this area. I just did not know how many signs you've actually got your fingerprints on. It's incredible.
Oh, I'm just
Okay.
so glad that everyone wants to have hand-painted signs again.
It's so cool. It's the fact it's got a
lucky, yeah.
resurgence going on.
Oh, great.
Resurgence. Ah.
Oh, what is that one? And it's a cooler.
It's really blurry as well. I don't think this is helping.
Is it a hair place? Yeah,
Yeah.
hair place.
It's going to be worse that you can't connect the dots from here.
Oh, it's not Capelli. Hasn't got an R in that one.
There's two names that you've done on this one. You've got the hair. So they've got
Oh.
two.
Got it.
Go on.
It's Peluca Salon.
There you go. So yeah,
Matthew.
this particular one is from
Yeah,
Matthew
great
Morris.
fonts.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? I
I
don't remember
love
doing
that
it,
space.
but
It's
yeah.
so cool.
They they're amazing. I did they actually were up in London Road before, so I did Peluca's like inside, and then they're doing so well as a team.
Yeah, Matt, I only know Matt. I haven't met his other
Wife.
half yet, but
Yeah.
Matt, I know from the gym to give him a shout out. But he's incredible. so,
Francesca, so she specialised in wigs, and Matt was just an amazing hair stylist, and this has been so. Yeah, I mean, Francesca was so busy that he just joined forces and he styles the wigs, and it's such a great concept, and they are like really making people feel happy.
100%. Again, a future future podcast guest. We're going to have them
Amazing, get
both
them
on
in.
and talk about what they're doing. I think it's incredible, and I think they're going to let us film in that space.
Wicked.
Because I think it's just so cool.
Yeah,
we need
they're
to
doing
show it
so
off.
well. Love that.
Okay, this is such an awful picture, Annie. So I'm going to apologise
This
in
is the
advance.
Grove.
You know it straight away from that. It's
Yeah.
quite an iconic tee that you've done. It is the Grove.
The type font, so that's not my. So most of the time, well, actually, say 50-50, whether I've actually designed the graphic
Okay.
or I've just come along, painted their graphic they've already got. So I didn't do that one.
Okay.
But yeah, really sweet. I loved doing that for them. And that was their big makeover they had.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's just nice to work with different typography. Yeah.
I mean, it's standout colours as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, really,
you
really
can't
on the
miss
corner,
It.
don't
Can't miss
crash
it
your
now.
car.
Yeah. Okay. H. This one's tough. I think. I've got a clue for you, but I don't think you need it just yet.
But what's the green thing?
That was going to be the clue. That is part of a window frame.
Oh, I know what it is.
Go on.
Athletica.
Yeah.
So they're a wicked gym down. It's nice when you find secret places, isn't it?
Yeah.
I felt like that and like Lost Box is quite secret, but everyone wants to know where they
There's
are.
a cool bike place as well called Stowe Velo, which is, I think, just round the corner from that. But you would never know there's a bike shop round.
Behind the broker or whatever the pub, there's a guy that does bikes there.
There might be there, but this is like a push bike
Oh,
place.
cool.
So he does some really cool bespoke builds, I think, and
Okay,
stuff.
nice.
But round that little section, there's some really cool businesses.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing this because obviously it's a traditional window they have, and then they had bottom bit, and I enjoyed doing that.
That's brilliant. Again, this is going to be crap for anyone listening because it all.
Sorry, I'm just like bit.
I've literally done a game that involves a laptop screen, so it's going to be an awful listen, but you're just going to have to watch it on YouTube. But yeah, look, that is just so just for anyone that's interested. All of those letters, which you've not taken a note of as we've gone, I didn't ask you to, but it does spell JobsWorth because I had to throw it in there and connect it all.
I love that.
At the end.
Again,
anyway.
I didn't obviously notice the spelling.
Of course. Hi guys, me again. I'm just jumping in mid-episode to ask if you could spend 10 to 15 seconds to rate and review the podcast. Yeah, I know you're getting sick of it. We're currently sat on 48 reviews on Spotify. I would love to see that get to 50. There's something that's really weirding me out seeing it stuck at 48 for the last couple of weeks. So if you could go on there and do that, that would be lovely. You can rate and review wherever you're listening. And it would be amazing if we could get up to 100 YouTube subscribers over the next few weeks too. So if you haven't done it yet, you could play a part in making that a reality for me, producer Tom, and anyone that works on the podcast. Thank you so much. Okay, so the closing tradition, we do have a question from Mum.
Okay.
And I'm going to play it to you. I'm so worried
Let's do it.
this.
Lisa.
Okay.
Hi Annie, what is the highest building that you've ever worked on?
Ooh.
Thank you.
Oh, short and sweet from Mum.
I like
She
that.
usually likes to
She's been nice to me
air
a bit.
him out
as
a bit.
well.
I think she has been quite nice to you, but yeah, what's the tallest?
So sometimes I jump on jobs with other sign writers, mural artists, and there was one in Basildon, and that was how high was that? 15, I think.
Okay.
15 meters high, but we were on scissor lifts and cherry pickers on this kind of thing, and I was assisting another artist.
Okay.
So yeah, personally, I mean, so if it wasn't one of those big jobs, and also like I work a lot with a group called Many Hands in London.
Okay.
It's just when they need extra hands, literally. We've worked on the Barbican. The recent project we did was the National Maritime Museum.
Okay. Wow.
So really exciting, massive projects.
But you're one of a big team
Group,
when you come to those projects.
And again, if that happened to be my own project, you just can't do this kind of thing solo.
Yeah.
Like even the marine job I'm doing at the moment in the marina, I probably should have got more hands with it because I didn't really realise the scale of how much there is to do.
This is where you got snapped by seen in Leigh, the
Yeah.
very well-known page. I don't know who
I've met him
runs it. I
finally,
have
the
to be honest.
Banksy of
Yeah, he does have
photography
this kind of
Banksy.
like feel about him. I've never seen him. I've
Yeah.
never seen the guy behind the camera.
Matt's
but yeah,
name. He's lovely.
Yeah.
It's really nice to meet him. Instantly felt like we'd known each other for years.
so cool. I think good photographers have that about them. They've just got this thing to completely take away any barrier between you both, and
Yeah.
I guess there's a reason for that as well. They want you to feel comfortable in front of
Yeah,
a lens.
we're laughing because he's obviously got a lot of photos of just me, of my backside on the ladder, like.
Is that from where he's seen like just round and doing all the
snapped,
jobs around?
from afar. Yeah, so it was nice to finally meet him. Yeah,
That's really
really nice guy. He's actually linked up with the gas works.
Yeah, I know him well. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to get an office space with them.
Oh,
Funny
cool.
enough. So yeah.
Yeah,
really
there's so
interesting.
much stuff going on here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to pull all my friends this way, but anyone coming from London, just move down. You've got
the same,
London.
same kind of vibe about
Yeah.
it, but the
There's
close to
loads
the
of stuff
water.
going on.
And,
Yeah.
we're not on the tourist board, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Especially if they're your friends. I guess this is what we want to do:
Yeah.
bang the drum and
They're
bring them
trying to
closer.
drag me to Cornwall, back to Cornwall, and I'm like, just come here for a bit.
See how
but
you
yeah.
find it. Annie, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank
John.
you so much.
Thank you.
We've taken up a lot of your time, but that was amazing. Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I hope it was interesting enough for an hour.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Well done. That was
Thanks, guys.
awesome. Thank you so much. It was brilliant.